Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are testing out so much new makeup. I have nearly a full face of new products here, which doesn't always work out for the best, but there's a lot that I'm really excited to try. And not to worry, my no-buy is still going strong, but I received a bunch of unexpected PR packages last week, so I figured we would test everything out together. As grateful as I am to any brands who send me complimentary products, just to be clear, even if I do end up really liking something that we talk about today, I'm still not suggesting anyone rush out and purchase right away, especially if you are on your own low buy or no buy journey. I'm here to fully support you. I want you to stay strong. This is just for entertainment purposes. The only thing I have on my face right now is skincare, and I might still look a little flushed. I just went for a run and then I took a really hot shower, so my face has been really hot and warm. But I want to start with this new Covergirl product, which seems like a dupe for the Chanel Water Fresh Tint. This is the new Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. And I know there have been other similar products launched, but I haven't tried any of them. This was sent to me in a big package, and I am going to try shade 30 Light Medium. I'm going to use this as a primer. I'm going to do half of my face with the Covergirl and half with the Le Beige Water Fresh Tint, and we'll see if there's a big difference. It does say here on the bottle this contains 0.5% bakuchiol. It says skincare and makeup hybrid with micro droplet technology. It's supposed to plump the skin and give you a little tint. You know, it's actually been a really long time since I've used the Chanel Water Fresh Tint because they launched the Complexion Touch and I used that one instead. In fact, I'm almost done with my first bottle, and before the new year, I actually purchased my backup. So when it is finished, I'll already have one ready to go. We'll do the Covergirl over here. I already opened this to make sure it was the right shade. I just sort of tested it on my hand, and it did seem like it was more of a close match to the Water Fresh Tint, not the Complexion Touch. You can tell both sides are very thin. They're both running down my cheek, so I'm going to quickly blend with my hands. Ooh, it looks so pretty. I always forget how much I like this, and then something will happen and I'll be inspired to use it again, and I'm like, wow, that's really pretty. It just looks like your skin. And if anyone watching has oily or combination skin, you don't have to worry because it doesn't have a greasy texture at all. It truly is water-based. I think it's 70 or 80% water. Everything looks nice and smooth, and I forget how forgiving it is with texture. My pores look diminished. It looks so natural and yet so perfected at the same time. Now let's see if Covergirl lives up to the hype. Ooh. Maybe this wasn't the right shade. Eek. As you can see, the shade is definitely a bit lighter, so that's throwing me. But I also think it just doesn't look quite as smooth. I don't know what's happening. It just doesn't blend as well together. And see here, I feel like it's clinging to a couple dry patches that I have. Didn't do a terrible job on the pores, but I can definitely see my pores. I can see the makeup sitting on the skin, which I don't see over here. I'm actually surprised because I thought it was going to be the same. I do have other shades. I'm tempted to wipe this off. That's what I'm going to do because I want this to be a fair review. I'm going to wipe this side off and I'm going to go with one shade darker and see if that makes a difference, because I'll scoot in. Hopefully you'll be able to see on the forehead. It actually looks really bad. This side looked so great and then this side looks terrible. We just can't start the video this way. We have way too many other products to test. I don't want to lay anything on top of this. It looks so bad. I wiped off the 30. I'm now going in with a fresh shade 40. Again, I'm going to do one pump. Ooh. This is brand new, so let me... One pump. And I wanted to make sure it was even, so I did a little skincare on the side of my face as well. Much better color-wise. The gel feels really different in the Covergirl. It doesn't feel as watery. It feels like there's something with a bit of slip. I don't know if it's an oil or a silicone, but that one pump feels like it could spread easily all over the face, the neck. I know I'm stating the obvious here, but using the correct shade makes such a huge difference because this looks so much better on my skin. And actually the coverage on this side does look like it might rival the Complexion Touch a bit better than the Water Fresh tint. This still looks more natural. This looks like my skin, whereas on this side I can see a little makeup. So it is a bit heavier. I would say the CoverGirl looks maybe a bit shinier. This just feels a little bit more obvious. This side looks like it has makeup on, whereas the Chanel side looks like my skin. I feel like I could get away with a real no makeup using the Water Fresh tint. Now I really like it. At first I was worried, but I think this would be a really nice everyday foundation. I would say this is probably better compared with maybe a Vita Lumiere Aqua or the Water Fresh Complexion Touch. More of a lightweight foundation versus skin tint. Both look really pretty, but they're very different. This has more coverage, it's a bit shinier. The Chanel side is more natural. So as much as I really like them both, I wouldn't say it's an even comparison. I think you could easily have both in your collection. My original plan was to use this as a primer and then layer a bit of this Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint on top because I didn't think it was going to have enough coverage, but this has enough coverage. This to me looks like a foundation, so I'm not going to layer anything else on top. I actually think I'm probably going to add a little bit of this on this side just to even everything out, but we'll start with a very light base. I'm going to use this brush from Huda Beauty just to make sure everything is nice and even. And I need to even out some spots on the forehead. If anyone is interested in trying the CoverGirl version, just know if you wear B30 in Chanel, you need shade 40 in the CoverGirl. Coverage is now even on both sides, so I'm happy with the base. We can move on to concealer, and I have two new concealer formulas here to try. This is the new Fenty Beauty. It's called the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. This is shade 100C. And I also have this new Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer in shade 0 and 1. I think both of these are the lightest shades. The Laura Mercier concealer is supposed to have a natural finish, medium coverage, it's hydrating, long-wearing, and waterproof. It's a weightless serum-infused multitasking concealer that quickly brightens, hydrates, and smooths, while providing medium coverage up to 16 hours of wear and a natural finish. The new Fenty concealer is a 12-hour hydrating long-wear concealer with medium coverage and a second skin finish. It has prickly pear cactus extract, sodium hyaluronate, and Persian silk tree extract. I've heard good things about both formulas so far, so it's time for a good old-fashioned concealer throwdown. We'll just try a little bit of both. I'm going to start with 3 dots in the corner. I want to start with my fingers just so I can feel the formula. I really like how thin the Laura Mercier concealer formula feels, but I can see it still has really great coverage. This is just the initial application, but I really like the Laura Mercier. I like how thin it is. It's very lightweight, but it still gives really nice coverage. It really feels soft and silky. I can see some dry patches beneath my eye, but the concealer isn't clinging to them. I can see it because it's just part of my skin. But even with the dry patches, the concealer looks pretty good. After reading the description, it seems like these are similar formulas, so let's try Fenty on the other side and see what happens. Ooh! I can tell this is going to have a bit more coverage. This goes on a little bit more like paint. Again, I'm going to start with my fingers so I can feel it. It's a bit thicker, so it definitely gives more coverage, and it's not as thin and serum-like as the Laura Mercier, but it still looks very smooth. This is the lightest shade in both. I think if you are very fair, I would go with the Fenty because the Fenty seems to be a little bit lighter. I like a brighter under eye, but this is very bright. It's going to oxidize, and when we finish the makeup, it will be fine. But this side has a lot more brightness. This still works, but it's just very light. I think the Laura Mercier is more skin-like. It has more of a second skin finish. The Fenty is just a little bit more coverage. I remember when it used to be really difficult to find a good concealer because most of them were bad. Most of them would crease, they looked cakey. I found it to be one of my biggest makeup struggles was finding the right concealer, and I swear in the past few years, all of the brands have figured it out because most of the concealers that I've tried recently have been outstanding. I really like both of these so far. Still very early review, but they're beautiful. The Laura Mercier I think is a little bit lighter. This would be a great every single day concealer. Better for somebody who doesn't have dark circles. If you do have dark circles, if you need more coverage beneath the eyes, I would say the Fenty looks really great. Neither one looks heavy, neither one is creasing terribly. I actually think I have a little bit more creasing right beneath the eye in the Laura Mercier. Not bad. There's just a little settling in the fine lines right beneath my lash line, which is basically unavoidable. Maybe because the formula is so thin. I think sometimes if a formula is too thin, it actually seeps into every crack and crevice a little bit easier. Whereas because this side is a little bit thicker, it can kind of float on top of those wrinkles and those fine lines. But I like them both. Both seem top drawer worthy. I mean, we'll have to see how they wear, but I'm impressed. Before I set with powder, I want to try a new cream blush. Say Beauty sent over their 3 new shades of the Dew blush. This is the Liquid Cheek Flush. I picked up a cute little trio set from Sephora at Kohl's during the holidays. It's a really pretty formula. So this is Sweetie, Baby, and Cutie. Since these are the 3 new shades, I'm going to swatch all of them so you can take a look. I really like them all. I think I might try Sweetie today. This seems like the perfect strawberry pink. This is Cutie, this is Sweetie, and this is Baby. It almost looks neon on the back of my hand. It's a really pretty, very light, cool-toned pink. All 3 are gorgeous shades. I'm honestly not going anywhere after I'm done filming. I probably could test 2 shades, but I don't want the makeup to end up looking crazy. So I'm just gonna stick with Sweetie on both cheeks. I'm gonna do 2 little dots to start. 3 on that side. Blends out so effortlessly. Really pretty. I love this color. Very light, very natural, gives a really pretty flush. I'm a big fan of this formula. It almost goes on a little bit more sheer than the other really popular liquid blushes, but in a way it makes it a little bit faster, a little bit easier to use. I like to do just a little on the nose. Ooh, that might be too much. Because it goes on sheer, it kind of melts into the skin. It looks really natural, like a very soft flush. And you can build up the color if you want your blush to be a little bit brighter, but this is probably as much as I would do. I'm picking up just a little bit of that blush on a brush, and I am going to blend it up into the crease as well. I don't have any new eyeshadows to try, but I love bringing my blush up to the eyes. Anytime you can incorporate your blush or your bronzer into your eye look as well, the makeup looks so much more cohesive. Everything looks like it goes really nicely together. I swear I've seen this new Huda Beauty powder all over my social media feeds on TikTok and Instagram. It feels like everybody is talking about the new shade Peach Pie. This is the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I'm very familiar with this formula. It's one of my favorites. It's so perfect for setting the under eye. I was afraid that the peach was actually going to be too dramatic, too peach, but it looks like this might actually be a really nice color. It might work for me, so I'm excited to try this out. All right, let's see if the Peach Pie works for me. Setting the Laura Mercier side first. Pretty. It's not super dramatic, which is great. If it was too exaggerated peach, I think it would look sort of funny, but it kind of blends right into my skin tone. I like it. The Fenty Beauty side was the brighter of the 2 concealers, so let's see what this looks like. I still really like it. It doesn't dull down the brightness too much. It just looks very soft and natural. And now I'm less shiny. This is definitely the smoother of the two under eyes. I think I might actually prefer the peach pie to the pink pie. I actually might prefer it to the cupcake as well. The banana bread is a little bit too dark, too yellow. Peach pie might actually be the best shade. My only complaint about this powder is that it is heavily fragranced, so if you cannot stand fragrance in your cosmetics, then this will not be for you. The scent is so strong. It does smell really good. It's just a little bit overwhelming. It's a bit disconcerting how much fragrance is used, but the peach pie shade looks pretty. I don't have any new bronzers to share, but this is a product I was sent towards the end of last year, and I tried it once and I liked it. It's from Maybelline. It's the Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. It's a primer, concealer, highlighter, and BB cream, but this shade is a bronzer for me, so let's see. I have 2.5 medium deep warm, and you just twist it up. I usually don't review drugstore makeup, it's been a long time, but I've had a few things sent to me recently that I really liked, so why not include it? We're doing sort of a high-low moment today. I'm concentrating on the forehead, a little bit on the nose, and then chin, jawline, and then just a hint on the cheek, not much. It reminds me of the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury, since it can be used as a primer and it has little luminosity to it. And do you see how quick that blended? Wow. Ooh, that looks pretty. Drugstore makeup is not what it used to be. There are some incredible options, and a lot of the drugstore brands are more affordable brands, even e.l.f. They've become dupe masters, so they're mimicking designer brands and more expensive brands and coming out with great products for a fraction of the cost. I'm curious if you've tried anything from the drugstore, anything that's less expensive that you really love, that you would say is comparable, maybe even better than the more expensive version. Let me know what it is down below in the comments. That could be a future video comparing drugstore with high-end and luxury makeup. Complexion is just about done. I don't have any new highlighter, so I might add just a little highlighter to the cheek, but this is all of the new products. And overall, I think it turned out really nice. I wanted to keep the face kind of light and natural. I want to do the same for the eyes, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this on the lid since it's my go-to everyday eyeshadow. This is from Give Beauty. It's the Eye See and Sparkle Multi-Dimensional Eye Pigment in Dazzle. I get questions all the time, what's on your eyes? What's on your eyes? Anytime I'm filming a video and I'm not going through and doing my makeup, if I'm just talking about fragrances or listing favorite products, I'm almost always using this in all of my Instagram reels, all of my TikTok videos. This is what's on my eyes, and it's beautiful. It's copper, it's sparkly, but it's not glittery, and it looks gorgeous in sunlight. 9 times out of 10 in a video, this is what I'm wearing on my eyes, and that's about it. If I want something more dramatic, I'll sometimes deepen the crease and go in with a deeper shade, but this is always the all-over lid color. Do you see? It doesn't look too sparkly. Not glittery, but in light, it looks so pretty. It's probably not the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a one and done eyeshadow, but that's exactly what it is. We still have a new mascara and new lippies to try. I'm gonna quickly fill in my eyebrows off camera because I do the same thing every single time, and I'll do a little eyeliner and then come back. The last step for eyes is mascara, and we're gonna try this new L'Oreal Panorama. The first time I opened this, I had such high hopes. I have not tried this yet, but this wand looks perfect. This is the type of wand that usually works for me. It's tapered so you can easily get the lower lashes, the inner lashes, and the way the bristles are like a short comb, this should help to give us a lot of separation and allow us to get product on every single individual lash. So I have really high expectations just based on the wand alone. I am gonna curl my lashes quickly. I used to be the biggest fan of drugstore mascaras. And if you had asked me a couple years ago if I thought luxury mascara was worth it, I would have told you no way. It was one of the areas of makeup that I always saved money because I don't even know what mascara I was using at the time, but I just really liked Drugstore mascara and I thought that was the way to go. And then I started working in cosmetics and I had the opportunity to try so many higher luxury brands and I never looked back. And now I think it's one of those places where it is definitely worth investing. So let's see if I can prove myself wrong. And I happen to be in the market for a new mascara, so hopefully this works. Oh yeah. It's really good so far. I'm almost done with my Tower 28. It's getting a little bit crusty. I still have a little product left, but now anytime I use it, it's a little clumpy and I have to go back and make sure I remove all of the clumps because it's sadly drying up. I have so many open mascaras in my drawer because there are plenty that I like, but they just end up getting so clumpy. Wow, I think we might have a winner. Ooh, I knew it. I knew it. Based on the wand alone, I knew this was going to be good. If the bristles are shorter, then it allows you to get really close to the base without poking yourself in the eye. And then you can comb through and really separate. Oh my gosh, I love it. Initial coat is looking really good. I didn't even dip back in for more product yet. All comes down to the brush. The wand makes the biggest difference. Yeah, I love this mascara. First impression, this is just as good as a luxury mascara. I don't usually receive PR packages from Hourglass, so I was so excited. I could not believe when this showed up at my doorstep, and it was on my wish list. I talked about their new lip liners and how I could not wait to try them. There were 2 shades that I was really excited to try, and then I must have manifested it because they ended up sending me all of their new lip liners in this beautiful package. Whoops. There are 4 new shades of their Phantom Volumizing Glossy Balm, which is one of my favorite lipsticks. It's this one right here. And then we have the new lip liners and the Unlocked Soft Matte Lipsticks. There are 7 shades here. I think Tempt 3 will be the perfect shade for the lipstick. Another brand that was on my makeup wish list is Prada Beauty, and I ended up doing a campaign through Sephora Squad, so they sent over their lip balm and their lipstick. I still want to try the eyeshadow palettes and the foundation. I know the foundation is already at Sephora. I haven't seen the eyeshadow palettes there yet. I'm waiting until the savings event anyhow, so hopefully they will be there in time. But this balm is incredible. This is one of my favorite lip balms. I didn't think it was possible to notice a difference with lip balms. In my head, they're all sort of the same, even the luxurious ones. But there's something different about this. It has a velvet matte finish, but it feels more like a lip treatment or a lip mask than a lip balm. It's a little bit thicker and nourishing, and they said you could also use this as a base. So I use this as a primer beneath the matte lipstick, and it makes such a huge difference. It's not something that I ever really thought of before. You know, most matte lipsticks, they claim to be hydrating, and it's not that they feel terrible, but they don't look really flattering. Something I noticed with a lot of matte lipsticks is once I apply it, maybe initially it looks okay, but then 30 minutes later, I can see every single crack in my lips. I hate that, which is why I usually top it off with a gloss. This did not emphasize any cracks. I was thinking about it, and the difference is I applied the lip balm first. So that's what I'm gonna do today, and I love this color. This is P59 Almarina, I think is the name of this lipstick shade. And we're gonna go in with the liner first. It looks like a typical pencil liner that needs to be sharpened. It's not retractable, which is fine. Let's see. I love this color. Ooh, this wasn't even one on my list, I don't think. Maybe it was. Still very creamy. I don't remember the hydrating ingredient. It has something in it. I'm going to top that off with the Prada Monochrome Hyper Matte in P59. The shape is a little bit funny since they have a square top, but I don't mind it. And this lipstick is so pretty. I love this color. But it feels so nice. The lipstick on its own probably feels really good, but I swear the lip balm is the perfect base. I never thought of using a lip balm as a primer beneath matte lipstick before. Now it seems sort of obvious. What do we think? I really like this lip. I really like the lip liner so far, and I'm gonna swatch all of the new lip liners so you can see all of the colors. I think the lip liner and the lipstick combination turned out really pretty. This is shade Expose 1. This is shade Flaunt 2. This is Tempt 3. This is Uncover 4. This is Candid 5. This is Silhouette 6. And this is Insight 7. Because the lipstick is a bit darker, I'm going to add just a hint more blush. I think I need a little more color in the cheeks. So I'm going back with just a bit more of this Say Beauty. Makes such a big difference to add just a hint more blush. And this is the final makeup look for the day. I think typically when I wear my eyes this simple, I go with a lighter lip, maybe a pop of color, but nothing quite this dark. The lip liner with the lipstick made it a little bit dark. So I don't know if I absolutely love this makeup look. I'm probably gonna play around with the lip liners and see if I can come up with something a little bit lighter than this. But as far as performance with testing all of the new products, I basically liked everything I tried today. I'm really happy with this CoverGirl Simply Ageless Essence. I thought this went on really nicely. I love the Say Beauty blush. Both of the concealers turned out really nice. I am still leaning towards the Fenty, although I like the Laura Mercier. The powder is incredible. And if I had to choose a favorite new product that I tried today, it would probably be the mascara, which I didn't expect. I did think it would work. I had high expectations based on the wand, but I actually think this is so good. It rivals some of the more expensive luxury mascaras in my collection. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that it continues to be really good as I use it and it doesn't just dry out sort of funny like the other open mascaras in my drawer. Because it went on so nicely, I felt like I could get the separation that I like. My lashes don't look clumpy, they look nice and long. This did everything that I want my mascara to do. So that completes today's review. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you liked hearing my thoughts on these new products. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.